Welcome back to Jadonna Live. I am excited to hang with you all today to chill. If you have never been here before, welcome to a place where you are able to explore your thoughts and able to process out loud without fearing that you need to have it all together or without fear of judgment. You might be judged, you just don't have to fear that you'll be. So, that's just that. I'm super excited to be here. I really try to focus on 3 topics: self-love, community slash relationships, and then sustainability slash the earth. And so if you are new here, those are the topics that my episodes will pertain to. But yeah, excited to have y'all. I have Olivia Dean's "Come Be the Man I Need, Darling, you got something to give, I want it. I really like it when you call me wonderful." She is so cute. I love her. I am never someone who knows about an artist before. Like, I know about an artist sometimes a little before the masses do, but with her, I've actually known about her for a while. Because I used to watch, slash, I tried to watch Bonnaroo and Coachella live streams just because it puts me on to some good stuff. And one year I watched and Olivia Dean was performing it. I never heard of her before then. And oh my gosh, just like her aura is so like attractive and like contagious. You can just tell she's living and doing exactly what she's meant to do. So really love her. If you haven't heard "Man I Need" at this point, go listen. And she also sang the "Who would do that to a friend, let alone the one you love?" Let alone the one you love. That's what it's called. Lovely ballad. And the reason she's on my mind is because on my YouTube, she popped up because she was on SNL last night. So that is where I heard and just recently saw those performances. So check those out for show. Gosh, what else is going on? Oh my word. I'm so glad I reminded myself of this. Okay. My husband and I just finished the Peacock season 1 series, All Her Fault. It was so good. It's a thriller. It gets ya. Finished the whole thing in a week's time. So if you like dramas, if you are a little fine with being kept on the edge of your seat, definitely check it out. Highly recommend. And episodes are about like 40, anywhere between 45, I think, to like 55 minutes. But we have Peacock with commercials. So if you got the money and you got the Peacock without the commercial, then you good. And I'm jealous. So yeah, outside of that, trying to look for another job. So like, wish me luck on that front. Literally, if you are listening to this, whether you know me personally or not, send me the good vibes, the good energy, the good juju, because I'm ready. Je pense. I think. So, anyway. Okay, well, we got a great show. We got a great show for you today. We got a great show. Got to interview the CEO of Alter Eco Foods. Very interesting company. Very interesting sustainable practices. And super fortunate to have been able to do this. So check it out. And let's go ahead and move on to some affirmations, baby. All right. Now it's time for the affirmation. for the affirmation segment. Every episode I try to do a segment where we speak life-giving messages to ourselves to ingrain them into our subconscious mind. And I refer to those as affirmations. I have been doing an affirmations practice for around 3 years now, a little over 3. And it's been really fun and interesting to see how paying attention to your thoughts and specifically rehearsing thoughts that have an impact on your life can then show up in your life in a material way. It's really cool, really interesting. I highly recommend. And so that's why I have this segment. So today, since our episode is all about sustainability, that is what our affirmation segment is going to be about. So go ahead and flatten your feet on the ground and lift your shoulders up to your ears. Just drop them down. Go ahead and start deepening your breath. All right. And when you are ready, repeat the affirmation after me. I will say them 2 times. So the first time I'll go ahead and say it. The second time, feel free to repeat it. Or I'm sorry, the second time I say it, feel free to say it with me at that same time. Okay. I support brands that care for people. I support brands that care for people. I support brands that care for our earth. I support brands that care for our earth. I support brands that prioritize profit and sustainability. I prioritize brands that I prioritize brands that focus on profit and sustainability. I understand my power as a consumer. I understand my power as a consumer. I choose products that bring life to my body. I choose products that bring life to my body. I put effort into my purchases. I put effort into my purchases. I try to support brands that deserve my support. I try my hardest to support brands that deserve my support. All right. So many thoughts I have with that. So hard in a capitalistic society to be super white and black with that sort of thing. I have been unable to successfully keep my Amazon account down because every time I want to get rid of it, I'm like, oh, this is so convenient. It helps in so many other ways. And I try to support brands on there that are of a certain caliber, environmentally, socially, consciously, blah, blah, blah. But I'm still on Amazon, you know? So this is where kind of the nuance of the show comes in, and where I really want us to be able to be honest and aware of those choices and those realities. Um, so, yeah, thanks for being on that journey with me. And let's move on over to the What Are You Into Lately segment.
All right, so welcome back to the What Are You Into Lately segment. In this segment, I chat with folks about what they're into, and today I've got a fun guest joining me on the podcast, Keith Bearden. Keith is the CEO of Alter Eco Foods. Alter Eco makes the cleanest, greenest snacks on earth by adhering to three main principles: restoring ecosystems, improving livelihoods, and reducing waste. Throughout Keith's career, he has been a partner in private equity, has served as the CEO on numerous boards of food and beverage companies in the US and Europe, and has been married to his wife Amy for 34 years, and they have 2 successful daughters and 3 amazing grandchildren. So welcome, Keith, to the podcast. Super excited to have you on today.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to talk to you about Alter Ego. To be honest, I never heard of the company prior to your team reaching out. And so I love that you all tuned in to my interview with Executive Director Danielle Guerin, and I know that's kind of how your team determined this would be a good fit. And so after perusing through your website and specifically your company's ethical business practices, I was like, okay, this is a really great fit. So I'm excited to jump right in here.
Yeah.
So
Well,
let's
I'm happy to tell you about Alter Eco.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of where I wanted to start it, is right at number one for those who are unaware of what Alter Eco is. Can you speak a little bit to the company and what you all sell?
Yeah. So company's been around for a little more than 20 years. And we are predominantly known as a chocolate company. We have some of the best chocolate in the world. We work directly with the farmers in Latin America to source organic, Fair for Life certified beans, and we ship them to our partner in Switzerland, and they produce some amazing chocolates. The Swiss have been producing fabulous chocolates for over 400 years, so they kind of know what they're doing. But we are more than chocolate. We are also we have a line of granola that is very unique. It's organic as well, and it is no sugar added. So we sweeten our granola with monk fruit and dates. So it's a very clean label, very healthy, runs about 3 to 4 grams of sugar per serving from the fruit, as opposed to 10 to 12, 15 grams of sugar with other granolas in the market. So your point about what we stand for in restoring ecosystems, improving livelihoods, and reducing waste is really how we manage the business. So we source as much of our cacao beans as possible from farms that practice regenerative agriculture, or in cacao farms, we actually call it dynamic agroforestry, because the cacao plants are coexisting with other trees, plantain trees, banana trees, coconut trees, maybe some lime and lemon trees or avocado bushes. And so it's really a whole ecosystem within the forestry, dynamic agroforestry. And so we help farmers actually make that conversion from clear-cut plantations to dynamic agroforestry by providing revenue streams for them, by supplying plants. We're working on a project right now in Dominican Republic where we're actually supplying the farmers with coconut tree saplings so that they can start to plant coconut trees. And that does a number of things. It restores the ecosystem, because those larger plants will pull more carbon out of the atmosphere, for one. For two, they provide shade and protection for the cacao plants. Cacao plants only grow about 7 or 8 feet tall. And those bigger trees have deeper roots. So in times of drought, it'll pull more groundwater up, nourish the cacao plants. And then all that organic matter falls to the ground and goes back into the soil and enriches the soil. Additionally, it creates another cash crop for the farmers, so therefore improving their livelihoods, because then they can sell the plantains or the bananas or the coconuts, and that improves their livelihood. But all of our chocolate is also Fair for Life certified, meaning we're paying a premium over the market anyway. And then lastly, reducing waste. Our packaging and our chocolate is compostable, and even our little truffle wrappers is backyard compostable. We're the
Impressive.
only company in the world that has that. Our granola is in plastic bags because it has to be, just for the product integrity and the freshness of the granola. But we use post-consumer recycled plastic, so it's already been recycled once. And so we try to do everything the right way, if you will. We want to leave the planet better than we found it. We're climate neutral, we're plastic neutral certified, we're a B Corp certified company. So again, our goal is to do everything the right way, in
Yeah.
addition to providing a fabulous tasting product.
Yeah, and what I love from what you were saying is just the underlying theme of collaboration, not just with the earth itself, but also with the farmers, but also
Mhm.
with your consumers who are more interested in the sustainability aspect of everything. And that's what really grasped me when I was reviewing all of this. And so I know you mentioned a handful of these things.
Mhm.
That alter ego is B Corp certified, fair trade, has a climate label certification, is certified plastic neutral, gluten free, USD organic. And so I was on the website, I was like, oh my God, what a mouthful, but in the best way. And so can you kind of speak to why these labels are so important for your brand and what you believe it means for consumers and the public?
Sure. I will say that my package designer says we can't get any more certifications because she doesn't have any place to put them on
No
the
room. Yeah.
exactly. It's interesting because there's a lot of greenwashing that goes on with some of these certifications.
Yep.
And we are so transparent in how we do things that we publish every year what we call our Regen report. And you can go to our website and find it. And we're completely transparent. My marketing team tells me we have to show our receipts. And so being organic means that we're producing a product that is pesticide free, it's grown without any chemical fertilizers and things of that nature. To be honest, most of the cacao coming out of Latin America is organic, whether it's certified or not, because most of those farmers don't have the means to go out and buy chemical fertilizers or use pesticides. They don't have the money to do that. But we take it a step further and make sure that all of our products are tested. We test for pesticides. We test for, we test the farms and make sure that they're not using chemical fertilizers and things of that nature. So we're very particular about it, and we go through audits every year for our USDA organic certification. Our Fair for Life certification means that we're working with our farmers to pay them a fair wage, and not just the farmers. We believe everybody in the supply chain should receive a living wage. And that's the people that are growing it, that are harvesting it, that are fermenting and drying the beans, that are shipping it, preparing it for transport. We want everybody to receive a living wage in this process. I actually took my CFO to one of our manufacturing facilities one time, and he came out after seeing all the steps that go into producing a chocolate bar. He came out and he said, "How can we sell this bar for $5? It ought to be $50 for to go into it." And I said, "You would think so." I said, "But unfortunately, the consumers won't pay that. But the way we can do it is because we do it at scale. We do it in millions of units." And so that's how we can keep the costs down, because we can run things efficiently when you're running that large of a scale. But the other certifications, they don't necessarily contribute to the product, but they contribute to who we are as a brand and who
Mm-hmm.
we are as a company. We've been climate neutral since 2010. We've been B Corp certified since 2009.
Hmm.
We just achieved plastic neutrality certification last year, but that was important to us because we haven't been able to find a package yet for our granola that is compostable, that provides the same product integrity and freshness of the product. So we felt like we're introducing plastic into the marketplace. We need to find a way to offset that. And so we partner with a group called Repurpose Global, and they harvest plastics from hotspots around the world and build recycling centers. And so we're doing that and contributing to that effort. And we measure everything. We even measure the shrink wrap that we put around pallets when we ship them out.
I love that because you're speaking so clearly to the effort it takes to really accomplish sustainability when you've got a consumer good like you do. And I think it's important for listeners to understand the reason why a lot of companies may not be focused on these things is because if you're in it, you can either be kind of partially in it or you can do similar to what Alter Eco is doing where you're fully in it. And if you are fully in it, it spans carbon emissions to supply chain to plastic to, I mean, the list goes on and on. And so I really love that you all are kind of not focused on the perfection of it, but based on your report, are really just focused on being very clear with what you're doing, being very clear with what you aren't doing yet, and that was really exciting to see. And so one of the things you spoke to with regards to the cacao trees and the cash crops was the CO2 emissions that you guys are trying to reduce. And so can you speak a little bit more to your CO2 reduction and just kind of clarify for folks listening, like what that really means? I know that's a really hot topic, especially for big companies right now.
Yeah. So what we can do in the farm, at the farm level, what we see is that once those larger trees become mature, that you'll see a capture of carbon emissions from the atmosphere that doubles and triples in that land space. From a supply chain and logistics perspective, we go even a step beyond that. We measure our carbon emissions of every time we move something. And so last year we changed our supply chain, and so all of our chocolates are manufactured in Switzerland. We used to bring them to our third-party logistics provider in Oakland, California. That's where our warehouses were. So they traveled by ship, which is less than by air significantly, but they traveled by ship all the way to Oakland, California, and 60% of our sales were on the East Coast.
Mm.
So we changed that supply chain drastically, and we bring it to Norfolk, Virginia. We moved our warehouse to Columbus, Ohio, and we did a number of other things in addition to that. So our production is in Switzerland. It gets put on a barge and actually goes up the Rhine River to Antwerp, Belgium, gets put on a ship, and goes from Antwerp to Norfolk, Virginia, gets put on a rail car and goes from Norfolk to Columbus, and it travels less than 10 miles by truck to get to our warehouse.
Hmm.
That reduced the carbon emissions in our supply chain by over 50%.
Wow. And that's a recent change.
That was in 2024.
Wow. Okay. So how often are you all like assessing? I know you put out your report, but I know that's mostly, that's for the public. How often internally are you all assessing things like that? Like, and how long does it take you to make that change?
Well, we assess everything we do from a standpoint of looking at how it fits with our three core principles. I'll give you a perfect example. We were ordering shirts and vests for a trade show, and we wanted to make sure that they were made with recycled materials or with organic cotton or with cotton that came from regenerative farms. So even things like that. And so we ordered the only vest we could find that met that criteria was from Patagonia. And we love Patagonia.
Yeah.
And so we ordered Patagonia vest, even though they're the most expensive in the market, but it's
Yep.
what we stand for. And so we use that criteria for every decision we make. In terms of changing our supply chain, looking at how we transport materials, we're pretty thorough in our analysis, but once we see something where we can make a positive change, then it doesn't take us very long to implement.
So outside of the fact that adopting these sustainability practices is attractive to consumers and is, on paper reflective of good ideology. Why does this matter to you personally? Can you speak to why Alter Eco was an attractive brand for you to get on board with and why you really seek out these innovative, sustainable solutions personally?
Well, you said it at the beginning. I have 3 grandchildren. And, there was a study done by a group that looked at how much of the planet we're consuming. And they identified that in 2023, by August, we had consumed more than the planet could regenerate. Now, that doesn't mean we're going hungry between August and the end of the year. It just means that we're further depleting our natural resources. And is it going to have an impact on me in my lifetime? Probably not. I'll probably still be able to get whatever I want put on my table. But by the way, we do have an organic regenerative beef cattle farm in my family that's been in my family since 1835.
Whoa.
So we sat down to dinner quite often, especially during the summer when the garden's in full bloom and everything on the table came from our land. So that's the way I grew up. But now seeing my grandchildren, and we were fortunate enough to be awarded by Food Business Review magazine last year. We were awarded the #1 organic brand. And they put us on the cover. They put us a huge article in the July edition of the magazine, and they wanted to put us on the cover, put me on the cover. And I said, put a picture of our farmers on there. They're the ones that make it happen. And they said, no, our model is we always put the CEO of the company on the cover of the magazine. And they said, so send us some headshots and we'll pick one and get it on the magazine. I actually sent them a headshot of me holding, at the time, my 6-month-old granddaughter.
Mm,
And believe it or not, they put it on the cover.
good. I
So
love that.
so that's why I do it. We need, our parents' generation didn't think about these things. And they didn't have the impact. They didn't see the impact to the planet that we see today. It's inexcusable to sit here and say that climate change is not impacting what we do in the world. I mean, cacao prices have jumped from $3,500 a ton to over $13,000 a ton in less than a year. And it's because of yield. And the reason yield is down is because climate change has reduced what these plantations can produce. And you're never going to reverse that unless you change the way you farm.
Mm,
So
yeah,
that's why I do what I do.
I love it. Thank you for that. And what advice would you give to other businesses who would like to improve their sustainability efforts, but maybe don't know where to start or don't have the team, that you have to be able to accomplish it all? Because it's a big undertaking.
It's a huge undertaking. I would say first thing, if you want to get into this space and do the right thing with your products, understand that it's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to cost you more. And therefore, you're going to have to charge the consumer more, but you're charging them because you're delivering more value. Don't undervalue your product. You're delivering a value beyond just the product itself. Now, I tell my team all the time, taste is the price of admission in consumer packaged goods, in food and beverage. Taste is the price of admission. If you don't taste good, I don't care if you're curing cancer. You're not
Yeah.
you sell it.
Yep.
So taste is the price of admission. It's got to be a great product. But if it's a great product, then you're doing all the other things right. Be bold about it and charge for it, you know? And if you want to figure out how to get started, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll give you my advice. I mean, I'm pretty passionate about this, and I'm happy to help other companies on their journey because if we all do it, then we're all going to benefit from it.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. And also I love CEOs who are sustainability forward, but who also aren't gatekeeping. It's like, if you really do care about the future and your grandchildren and the planet, then you hoarding this knowledge so your brand can appear superior based on blah, blah, blah is irrelevant and unimportant,
Yeah,
especially as a consumer. We don't even want that. We're like, share the wealth, share the knowledge, share the information. And in this case, the knowledge is the wealth.
absolutely. And I'm, like I said, reach out, connect to me. I'm happy to share. I give a lot of podcasts. I give a lot of presentations. I'm speaking at an event in Minneapolis in October about transforming food and ag. I'm speaking at Supply Side West in Las Vegas in October. You know, I mean, this is what I believe in, and I'm kind of becoming the evangelist of the sustainable cacao supply chain, if you will. So.
Well, amen, hallelujah. And before we let you go, or I let you go, I always speak as if my got a team behind me. Any other exciting happenings coming down the pike for Alter Eco that you'd be open and willing to share?
Well, we're constantly doing product innovation. We just launched 3 new products in our bar line this year, in our chocolate bar line. One is called Coffee Brittle, and if you're a coffee drinker, it's amazing. It's 70% dark chocolate with 100% organic coffee beans, but ground up in a way that they don't stick in your teeth. I love espresso covered or chocolate covered espresso beans.
Mm-hmm.
They stick in your teeth.
They do.
This is in a brittle, it's ground up. It still gives you the crunch of the coffee bean, but it doesn't stick in your teeth. It's so good.
Sounds good.
Then we have 2 new flavors. One's called passion fruit cream and the other one's called sweet ginger. They're both a truffle thin, which means that they're a filled bar with a layer of truffle ganache in the middle of them.
Ooh.
They're amazing. The sweet ginger is just so good. And they'll be rolling out into the retailers in the next 30 days. So you're going to start seeing them on retail shelves.
And what retailers do you all sell in?
We are nationwide with pretty much all the natural channel retailers. So Whole Foods, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, all the independent natural foods retailers. But we're in a lot of conventional retailers as well. We're in Wegmans in New England. We're in Albertsons divisions. We're in
Okay.
Harris Teeter in North Carolina and South Carolina. So we're constantly expanding into the conventional channel. We believe that that's where the growth opportunities are because, 10 years ago, organic fair trade products were in a little bitty segment of the conventional retailers. And today they're integrated. And so in most anyway. And
Mm-hmm.
our goal is I kind of have this philosophy that if you make the best tasting product that's helping save the planet, why wouldn't you want everybody to have access to it?
100%. 100%. And after hearing you speak to it, I still haven't tried this, so I'm like, I need to have some. I need to get some. But yeah, thank you so much for your time. This was super fun. I know a lot of folks, good friends of mine, are really passionate about this industry, and I, have been working in social impact for my whole career. So thank you so much for enlightening us and, yeah, for all the information. I will provide a link to Alter Eco's website in the show notes here. But outside of that, hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Keith.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
All right, let's move on.
Thanks again for listening to today's show. Thanks again, Keith, for joining. And I am super excited to hopefully get some chocolate. I did reach out to his team, so hopefully they can send me some. And yeah, thank you all for listening. If you have any comments or questions about the episode, please reach out at Jadonna live@gmail.com. Would love to hear. And if you know of any other folks in that world who care about eco-conscious living, would love to get them on, especially people of color. So let me know, send them my way. And outside of that, join me in the next couple of weeks. Take it easy, breathe deeply, and keep doing what you do. I will catch you next time. Same place, same vibe.